Hey guys, so I was asked to film me filling up one of my Starbucks snow globes. I've already cut the hole in it. It was 5/8 on a big hole right here, and then I put a little air hole on this side so that it helps get all the air out so I can fill it up to the brim. I'm doing an Oogie Boogie, so I'm using the cute little shapes of Oogie Boogie, and then I'm going to put a couple little jack in there. I also have Sally. I got these off Etsy. I'll have to look up the shop. I'm also using my own little concoction I have going. I use glue, clear glue for mine. It gives a smoother snow globe effect when you do it. It's 1/3 glue, 2/3 water, and then I added green glow into this. So the glow that I used is from Glitzy Girl Glitter, and then I also added some sour apple green glitter into it to make it shimmer a little bit. And then I also added some neon mica, which I also got from Glitzy Girl Glitter. You can use my code SilasCrafts10 through their website and you can get a discount. So I just did my own little concoction there, and then I shaked it up and did all that. So I'm also going to use UV resin to seal it. I have my own little way to do it. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it. So first what I do is I get all the little glitter or these little clay pieces or whatever I'm going to use into the cup. I'm not going to be putting any glitter in here minus what I put into my glow concoction for the liquid that I'll be putting in after. I am going to be putting in quite a bit of these little Oogie Boogies. I smack my cup. I know that some people will like do this and like push them in, or they'll use little tools or whatever to push them in. I feel it's faster if I just smack my cup because I am super impatient. I'm not even gonna lie here. I'm really impatient. So that whole thing that I just had up here, it's all already in. So I like just smacking off of it so it's super fast. So those are already in. I am gonna do another bump of these little guys in here. And I'll make sure that I find the Etsy listing that I purchased these off of so that you guys can get them. It's just a cute little shop that I went to. And she had the Oogies, the Jacks, and the Sallys. I have the Sallys too. I can show you guys. I'm not going to put it in this cup though. So I'm just so impatient that I don't want to push it in with anything. You guys can do it however you want. Like, you don't have to do it how I do it. Like, find your own rhythm here. There's no right way or wrong way. This is just my way. And because I'm so impatient, I do this with glitter too. I wrap the tape. I'll wrap the tape around the cup, and then I wrap the tape inside the tape so that nothing sticks to it on the inside. Just to make it like a little funnel that I got going. I don't know, my ADD won't let me do it any other way. I can't stay here that long. It drives me crazy, especially getting the glitter in. It literally drives me nuts. So once these ones are in, I'm gonna drop in some little jacks, just a few of the jacks. I don't want to put in a lot, just a couple. And I'll show you guys the Sallys real quick. I think I was out of screen, I'm sorry. Okay, so I have the Oogies in. So my little Oogie Boogies are in. Okay, let me grab the Sally and show you. Okay, so she had Sally's too. Sally. They're really cute. They're like their little faces. Okay, so I'm done with Oogie. So now I'm going to be putting in a couple of the little Jack, just like I said. And I'm not going to do very many of these. Probably just that many. It's just like a cute little surprise to it. And then I'm going to bang these in. Because again, I'm super impatient. and I ain't got time to be trying to push in every little piece with a tool. I can cut my time in like a quarter by just banging on it. And I'm not hitting it hard enough to like break anything, or like I'm not trying to Hulk out on it or anything. Just enough to get my little thingies in. And then the last two, I just push it in there, get it down the side. Oh, that jack is not wanting to go in. Go home, little guy. And then I'm going to kind of move it around so that they're kind of everywhere, including the Oogies. I just spin it around, make sure I have it on all sides. So then I'm going to pull the tape. And it leaves a little bit of residue. It wipes it right off. No worries. So after I wipe down all the residue and everything, I'm going to make sure that this is nice and mixed up. It's got a nice color to it. It looks like in the bottle. I haven't dumped it out to see what it looks like, so I'm kind of just blind doing it here into my cup and hoping for the best. I think it's going to be good though, so we will see. And I'll also show you guys how I seal it too. Okay. So I'm going to tip my cup. Oh, I think it has a clog. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. I got the clog out. Okay, so I'm going to tip my cup, and then I'm just going to squirt in my mixture. And I'm going to put enough of it in it that it'll actually move the little chunks. And then I'm going to cover the holes just in case. And I'm just kind of shake it around to make sure that all the little pieces are covered. It only takes a second. And then I'm gonna, oops, shoot. I made a little bit of a mess there. So just keep a towel or a paper towel or whatever, napkin, whatever you want to use on hand so you can wipe it down, because you're gonna need to wipe it down when you're done too. So I'm gonna get it tipped. And then I'm gonna keep on filling up. Get the bubbles out. Okay. Sorry, I keep having to pause my kids. It's really hard to film when my kids are here. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on filming until it kind of back gurgles at me. And I'm going to wipe that off. Okay, so I'm going to cover this little hole over here, because I like to fill up mine all the way until I possibly cannot anymore. So I'm going to cover up this little hole over here and then not make a mess. And then I'm going to tip the cup to where the bubble is on the big side, and then I'm going to dribble in some more until it backwashes on me again. And you can see that it has the sparkle in it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has sparkle in it, and that's from that glitter that I showed you guys, the sour apple. Okay, so I'm going to wipe it down again. Make sure that there's none on the top. And then I have my air bubbles up here that I can see what I have already and what's going to be left in the cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my holes again just with my fingers, and I'm going to flip it and I'm going to shake it. And I'm going to try to get, you really want to do this when you're doing glitter. You really want to get it moving before you seal it. So glitter, I fill it, I flip it a few times, and then what I do is I leave it overnight, and then I just keep randomly flipping it overnight to make sure that it releases all the bubbles and everything. So that's pretty good. So that shows my little concoction I got going and my air bubble that I'll have. So I moved around all the pieces, and then I'm going to get them so you can see all the pieces floating around in there. So now I'm going to get them to move back down to the bottom, and I'm going to release the holes so that it can start moving around again. I'm just kind of circling a little bit to kind of get it to move down. Okay, so this is where the sealing comes in. Because I'm not using glitter, I don't have to keep flipping it to get rid of all the air bubbles, because the glitter on the bottom is what's going to hold your air bubbles. That's why you want to keep flipping it for at least 24 hours. Just keep randomly doing it like every hour or two. And then the next day do it a few times, and then you can seal it, because most of your air bubbles will be at the top by then. I don't have to do that with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all this stuff away really quick so I can go on to the next section. Hang on one second. Okay, I'm sure you guys can see that I moved the camera a little bit, the camera angle, because I wanted you guys to see the sealing part that I do. So what I do before I seal it with the UV resin, and it could be any UV resin, like if you have a favorite, use that. I just bought this because it was like a 2-pack on Amazon, I think for like 15 bucks. So I needed it quickly, and it said it had 2-day shipping with Amazon Prime. Okay, so I just put alcohol on my paper towel here. I'm just going to go around it to get all of the glue and all that off of it and make sure that I have a clean surface. Because you want the UV to stick. So I do that, and then I go around with a dry one. And I'm going to do that in between sealing my holes too. So this is where I kind of have to be quick, because if you're sealing the holes, you don't want the UV resin to kind of sink into your cup. So you want to seal it really, really quickly. So this is where you kind of got to be fast. So I have my light here. I think I gotta move you guys a little more. Hang on. Okay, I think you guys can see better. Okay, so I have my light here. Let me move this really quick, sorry. So that you guys can see that that's all I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna start with the little hole first, make sure that it's dry, and then I'm going to just put a little dollop on it and let it move around really quick, and then I'm going to throw it under the light. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the little bitty hole like tacked up so that I don't have to worry about it. This is where you got to be fast. So I can't talk during this one because it's the big hole, and once the epoxy gets in there, it's going to start settling to the bottom, and you don't want that. So as soon as you got a good enough in there, you're not going to fill it the first time. Like, you're going to have to do it at least twice. So I'm going to add a little bit in there and get my hole semi-filled, and then I'm going to put the light on it immediately, because I don't want it to sink down my cup, like, at all. So I want to make sure that it is completely stuck where it is, so that as I go to fill in the rest of the hole, it will not sink, and it'll fill it up the rest of the way. I'm sorry I keep having to pause. My kids and husband are driving me crazy. They're like coming and going, coming and going. And I'm trying to keep the dogs from barking. So at least y'all know I'm just a normal person, a normal parent. Like, now, because it pushed a little bit of the liquid and everything up, I'm going to wipe it off with my alcohol that I had. And I'm going to do it lightly. Now I'm going to hit it again to get the rest of the hole filled up. I'm almost out of UV. Bear with me. And I'm going to put a good amount of dollop on it. So that way I hit it and it holds. And I'll be right back because I gotta let it sit for 90 seconds. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now my hole is pretty much sealed. However, we are going to make sure that it is completely sealed, and also it's going to be really hot, so don't touch it. This is where it decides from you. if you're doing these cups, if you want to logo it, mark it, put something on it to show that it's yours, that is up to you. This is what I do, is I just do an H and an S. It's really small, unless you're looking at the bottom of so-and-so's cup. I don't really think that matters, but I haven't had a problem with very many customers not liking it. I have had one that didn't like it. She didn't buy whatever, but most of my customers do not have a problem with it. Now, with these Starbucks cups, this is probably where I differ from a lot of people, is I fill up the whole bottom. And I make sure that I keep it nice and even so that the cup doesn't rock or any of that. You want it nice and even. But this also makes sure that it is completely cured. Like, it will not open. You won't have a customer that picked it off or any of that. Like, you won't have to worry about any of that. I'm going to let it sit underneath the light for 90 seconds. And then I'll be back. Okay, so once you've ran it through your 90 seconds, you should be good. You shouldn't have any more problems after that. You can always touch it, feel it. It's gonna be really hot. If it's a little sticky, I would say do it like another 30 seconds. That's generally what I do. It is a little sticky on this side, so I'm gonna do another little 30 seconds and I'll be right back to finish up with you. Okay, so at this point, it should be nice and hard. Shouldn't have any issues. You can flip it around, play with it, shake it about, do all that. So this is what mine looks like. Let me shake it a little more. Get the little guys floating around. Okay, so this is what mine looks like. You can see the sparkle in it. You can see the glow. I'm gonna see if I can turn off my light without it affecting my camera. So let me see if I can show you guys the glow. Hopefully it doesn't shut off the video. If it does, I'm really sorry. And I mean, at that point, you guys are good. You guys should know what to do at this point. You shouldn't have any issues. I've taught you all my little tips and tricks to it. It's nice and hard. It's nice and flat. So you don't have to worry about having a rounded end where it kind of dances around the table or any of that. Like, it's just, you set it down, it's flat. So that's my little tips and tricks to it. And then anytime you shake it, it'll move around. It is nice and sparkly. Let's see if I can get it to glow without turning anything else off. Okay. So it is glowing. I've got a light on in the kitchen. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but it'll glow way better once it's out in the sun or whatever, but that does show the glow for you. So if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to ask. I'm gonna try to start filming way more than I have been. I'm sorry, I've been slacking. But I will make sure I get some more. But that is how you do the glow in the dark Oogie Boogie tumbler with glue and water. And of course, if you want to make your own concoction, it glows, it comes out beautiful. I would say play with it. You can always copy me if you want. I did use everything from Glitzy Girl Glitter. Again, my code is SilasCrafts10 if you want a discount at checkout. Make sure you put it in there. Leave me a comment to let me know if there's anything you guys want to learn. At this point, it's good to go for vinyl. So Oogie is going to be going on here and I will be placing it up for sale. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Bye.